What's up, guys? Rick from DFS On Demand here with the one and done preview for the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am. Before we talk about that, let's look back at last week's waste management and see how we made out. So we had Xander Schauffele in our weekly lineup, and we had Gary Woodland in our season-long lineup that we set before the year. Both top 10 this. Xander finishes in a tie for 10th at 10 under, and Gary Woodland finishes in T7 at 11 under par. So two really good bullets. Xander had a couple of holes on Saturday, I think, coming in that knocked him back, but he played really, really well. Woodland was basically in contention the entire time. Pretty happy with these two picks. Unfortunately, there was a bit of chalk that finished above us, so we didn't make up a ton of ground, but we did bank a little bit. So let's look back at the ownership. And we avoided the major problem of Hideki going out and winning this thing. Okay, so Hideki ended up, he did make the cut. He wasn't a complete bust. He finished T15. So all of those owners, 880 of them got rewarded with a T15 from Hideki. Unfortunately, he did not do any worse. John Rahm was the second most popular pick. He T10'd this. So, I mean, there was, oops, there's a little sneak peek. Everyone was getting money this week. Ricky Fowler obviously wins it. He was the third most popular. Phil, where did Phil finish up? Phil did miss the cut. Okay, that was helpful. And then Webb, I think, was the fifth most popular. He was T20. Let's see here. Finau did miss the cut, 171. And then Woodland, 158. Kuchar was in the top 10. Justin Thomas was in the top 10. So a lot of us out there got a decent bit of money, but pretty happy with how this turned out. We used Woodland and Xander. Didn't end up getting a win, but that's okay. So where do we currently stand in this thing? Let's check. All right, so the leader has already picked 3 winners. Kuchar at the Sony, Justin Rose at the Farmers, and Ricky at the Waste Management. That's a hell of a start, but plenty of season left and lots of different segments we can win. So let's see where we're at here. Here are my 2 lineups. Remember, there are, let's say, actually, you know what? And I want to go back here. I want to see what the total amount that these guys have are. So the leader is at 3.7 million. Okay. My 2 lineups are here. Remember, there's about 3,300, owners in this. So I have my one lineup in 639th and my second lineup, or actually flip that, my one lineup in 1,407th and my second lineup in 639th. Those have 551 and $944,000 respectively. So actually our season-long lineup that we chose a month ago via the original video that we did on One and Done has basically twice the amount of the one that we've done picking every week. That's the one we've done really well with. So we'll continue to try to see what's going on for this week, but I don't know. We're in pretty good shape. I'm happy with this. This is a much better start than we had last year. I bet you I could go back and look. We probably did not hit $1 million last year for like 10 more weeks. Like it was really brutal. All right, this actually got me curious. So here were my teams last year. We did not hit $1 million in winnings until the WGC Mexico, which was the entire first segment. So that was 9 tournaments. That's in our best lineup. In our worst lineup, it took us, it's our worst lineup. It took us basically until the Arnold Palmer to hit it, which was 11 tournaments. And then in our final lineup, it took us, oh my gosh, even longer. This is the one that came on down the stretch, I think, here. Yeah, basically we crossed it at the Masters with Spieth. So it would have been tournament number 14. So the fact that we're basically already at 950,000 with one of our lineups, 4 events in, obviously a much bigger improvement. And I think that is a testament to the amount of research that we've put in this year, the tools that I've created. Obviously, it's early, but I felt much more prepared this year than I have in previous, than I did last year. All right. So what are we going to do this week? Pebble Beach is all that matters this week. It is the Pro-Am. It is a 3-course rotation. It is weather pending. It's long rounds. There's a lot going on here. But there are a few guys with just absolute elite course history. When you go look at the one and done model, which is right here, which is on dfsondemand.com, we're starting to get to like $89,000 of expected value for Dustin Johnson, who is the leader here, is one of the highest expected values that we've seen to this point this year. So this is a pretty strong model on Spieth, Dustin Johnson, and Jason Day. Obviously love all three of those guys. Day and Justin Thomas, Day and Dustin Johnson have absolute elite course history. DJ is coming off the win in Saudi Arabia. Spieth finally, at least played well at the Farmers, and he's been awesome here at Pebble Beach. There's a few cases that you can make further down. So if you wanted to burn Phil this week, he's got great course history as well. Actually, I'm going to flip over to the cheat sheet real quick here. You can see Dustin Johnson has like 6 top 10s in the last 10 years. Spieth is right here. He won it 2 years ago. Ches Reavie, if for whatever reason, someone asked me this on Twitter, and I thought it was a good question. Like, I love Reavie this week. The problem is it's unlikely you have to use him. We're early in the season. We're not desperate. There's so many other good players and good options here. I just don't think you have to use Reavie. If you were in some weird format where, I don't know, the majors or the end of the season was weighted even more than it normally is, maybe you could burn Reavie right now. But unfortunately, I just don't think there's a real reason to play him. So there's some options there. So where I'm going to go, so in our season long, the one that we've already decided, it is going to be right here. It's Jordan Spieth week. So originally we had Spieth plugged into the Waste Management, and he didn't play, and we had Gary Woodland at Pebble Beach. Well, last week we just flipped those. So I'm okay with having Spieth here. I think that he's on the cusp. I think if he ends up winning this, we're probably, he might be like 5th, 6th, 7th highest owned golfer out here, because there's going to be a lot of Jason Day, a lot of Dustin Johnson, a lot of Phil Mickelson, probably guys that, will garner a lot of that attention. So I'm okay to have Spieth here. I considered playing him in our actual week by week run at this, but we're not going to. Where we're actually going to go is with Dustin Johnson, and it's a lot of factors. I think he's going to be popular. That's fine. I think Day will also maybe eat up half of this. I think 600 of us each will have Dustin and have Jason Day. But he's just too good. 4th at the Tournament of Champions. He just won in Saudi Arabia. He's coming right to Pebble Beach. I guess the travel is a little bit concerning for me, but whatever. These guys fly private. Pebble's a great fit for him, as you can see in the history. And the one thing that I did notice is he has basically, depending on the calculation that you use, like a 13.5% chance of winning this golf tournament, which is fairly astronomical. When you see him at 10-1 or something like that, that's usually like a 10% chance, which is super low odds. For him to have like a 13.5 or a 14% chance of winning this tournament, I can't pass that up. So I'm going to roster DJ in my weekly, and we'll roll with Spieth in the season long, and I'm pretty happy about both of those. Let me know who you're playing. Are you going further down the list, or are you just going to join me on Jason Day or Dustin Johnson, which I certainly can't blame you on? Tweet me. It's at DFS On Demand, or leave a comment below. I'll talk to you guys soon. Good luck.